RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Alton Toyota. Toyota makes the car. Munganast makes the difference. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Lisa Funk, the Riverbend's top producing broker year after year. And by Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for 46 years.
With Joe Barrett, Sam Stan back in Johnston City, Illinois. That's Johnston with a T. And the Explorers and the Indians about to do battle here in the opening round of the Class 2A playoffs. Now the winner of this game will advance to a game next week against the winner of a game featuring Maroa Forsyth, the number 3 seed in the bottom half of the 2A bracket. Maroa Forsyth 8-1 on the year, and they are hosting this afternoon Warrensburg-Latham. Warrensburg-Latham came in 5-4. There were, however, 4 games played in the Class 2A playoffs last night, and 3 of the 4 games were won by the lower seed. So the Explorers come in here as the lower seed, seeded 11th in the bottom half of the bracket. Johnston City, the number 6 seed. So, just because you're on the road and because you're a lower seed doesn't mean you don't have a chance. And, that was proven last year when Marquette got a home game and a lower seed came in and beat them. Of course, Marquette's last playoff victory was 2 years ago in the opening round in a home game.
Right. That team last year, Auburn, is now, this year, is undefeated at 9-0, and I think they're in 3A. And they appear to be a team to be reckoned with.
Well, most of the playoff teams that Marquette played during the regular season are in the 3A bracket. Southwestern and Carlinville from the SCC West. And then you go over to the east, and you've got Staunton and Greenville and Vandalia. And Vandalia won last night in 3A. So one win there for the SCC East. And the Explorers did face 5 playoff teams during the regular season. And they beat, no, they didn't face 5. They only faced 4 because they didn't face Staunton. But
2-2 against those 4 teams.
Absolutely. So Johnston City, the Indians, have won the opening toss, and they have elected to receive, and they will defend the east goal. And that means here in the first quarter, Marquette will be going from our left to our right. Marquette in their traditional road uniform, white jerseys, white pants, and the silver helmets with the blue trim, the block M on the helmets. And Johnston City in all black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, and on this warm afternoon, being dressed in black may not be an advantage.
No, it's going to be a little warm.
It's
now they've got them. Zach Keenan looks like he's going to kick off for the Explorers.
He will. Zeke Keenan will tee the ball at his own 40-yard line, and 3 men back deep for the Indians. They all stand back at their own 5-yard line, and they're in the right spot because we've seen teams that Marquette's played this year have those guys up at the 10 or 12-yard line, and it always goes over their heads. So they've done a little scouting, and they have an idea that Zach Keenan can put the ball up. Just a very slight breeze, and it's a breeze across the field, so it shouldn't be much of a factor. And here's a low-line drive, and it's going to bounce off the hands of the deep man and into the end zone for the automatic touchback. That was Aston McIntosh back there, and he went to field it at about the 4, and it bounced off his hands, and lucky for him, into the end zone.
I was surprised the referee didn't blow the whistle as soon as it went into the end zone, because that's a dead ball automatically in high school. But he waited till he picked it up and then blew it dead. Zach's been fighting a bad ankle the last couple of weeks, so.
And despite that, has done a good job.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Although those kickoffs are not quite as deep with that ankle problem. It's Josh Jones under center, double wing formation for the Indians. And Jones, long count, turns and gives it to his fullback, working the left side, and he pounds his way out to the 25-yard line for a gain of 5 On the carry for the Indians, number 35, Colton Johnson, and 5 yards on that first play from scrimmage.
And Mitch Woolner in on the tackle for Marquette, but you can't let them have 5 yards on first down. The Explorers got to plug that hole a little quicker.
2nd down and 5 for the Johnston City Indians from the Black Diamond Conference. That's a 9-team conference, and they finished 3rd in the conference, going 6-2 here in 2008. It's a single wing to the left side with a receiver wide to the right side, and the turn
Counter.
and the give to the wing back. A wing counter to the right side, and that's going to go for big yardage. Brimage trying to track down the running back at the 20 and gets him from behind at the Explorer 14-yard line. On the run, it was Derek Solomon on that wing counter, and big yardage. Actually 52 yards on the carry.
That's what's hurt the Explorers, is giving up the big plays, from just running plays that they don't cover their gaps. And he was untouched, Sam, all the way down the way.
And only the speed of Brimage allowed the Explorers to avoid a touchdown there. 1st and 10 at the 14 of the Explorers for the Indians. Here is the give now to the fullback. Big hold to the left side. He's down inside the 5, and he's near the goal line. Brought down at the 1-yard line is Colton Johnson, as he picked up 13 on that carry for the second first down of this drive. 1st and goal Indians.
Yeah, Bryce Smith finally brought him down, but he doesn't have far to go to get the touchdown now.
1st and goal Indians at the Explorer 1-yard line. Double wing formation. Josh Jones under center. The Indians looking to strike early. Here is the give to the fullback, Colton Johnson. He walks in for the touchdown, and the Indians are on the board. They break out on top.
Well, they didn't have any trouble moving the ball against the Explorers on that play. Every play they had minimum 5 yards and more. Explorers are going to have to figure out how they're going to beat that line off the snap.
80 yards on 4 plays. And that's not the way you want to start if you're the Explorers. They're behind the 8 ball already. And now the extra point attempt off the toe of Justin Mornaway. He's a lineman and a straight-on kicker. Lou Groza lives. They line it up. The snap, the spot. Oh, bad spot, and the kick is blocked as Mornaway just tried to put a toe on it and couldn't. But the Johnston City Indians drive 80 yards on 4 plays. 10:26 remaining in the first quarter. It's Johnston City 6, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
St. Anthony's Health Center, located in Alton, is serving the Riverbend area with quality patient care and comfort through comprehensive outpatient rehabilitative therapy services, advanced diagnostic technology, and emergency services, while also providing community education classes that benefit those of all ages. All brought to you by St. Anthony's Health Center's dedicated and caring health professionals.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
Fielded by Travis Jones at his own 4. Up the middle he goes across the 15 to the 20 to the 22-yard line. And is the ball loose? A big pile up there. And then a little pushing and shoving after the play. But no, apparently the ball did not come loose. It was just an aggressive tackle by the Indians. And the Explorers will start 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Well, Tim Nelson told me earlier this week that Johnston City is big and physical, and they certainly dominated the line of scrimmage on those 4 plays on offense, as there were gaping holes for the Indian running backs to run through. Let's see how the Explorers fare. Double wing formation. Keenan Eberlin under center. Brimage in motion to the right side, and the snap is fumbled, and the Explorers cover it at the line of scrimmage. Steve Utley on the football, as it looked like Eberlin never got the snap cleanly. It hit the ground, and luckily Utley was there to cover it. 2nd and 10 Explorers.
That's one thing that hurt Marquette last week against Hillsboro. They did put the ball on the ground a couple times. Eberlin had to come out of his hands. It was wet, but he said that the ball wasn't slick all night until the very end. 2nd
down and 10 for the Explorers from their own 24. pitch back to Brimage trying to sweep the left side. Brimage tracked down back at the 20-yard line, may have gotten to the 21, maybe the 22. A loss of 2 on that carry. He got one good block back there from Thomas Hendrick, but then the Indians shut it down, and it's going to be 3rd and 12 Explorers.
They had that play well diagnosed. When Marquette sends a man in motion, they generally run that way, and the Indians had the outside covered. Marquette didn't have enough blockers for Brimage.
Well, the Explorers have had their best success in the running game when they've been able to establish that fullback, but so far nothing for the fullback on this drive. 3rd and 12, and here's the give on the wing counter to Travis Jones. Breaks one tackle, Jones to the 30, to the 31-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down. They pick up about 9 on that play, but it's going to be 4th and about 3 for the Explorers and bring on a punting situation.
Travis had an opening, had a couple blockers in front of him, but the pursuit from the Indians on the inside were able to catch him and bring him down before he could get to the first down marker.
Well, Keenan Eberlin back in punt formation for the Explorers rather than Zach Keenan. And I don't think we've seen Eberlin punt this year. High snap. He gets the kick away under heavy pressure. It's a short kick that will bounce at the 40 of the Indians and take an Indian hop. And it's down by Michael Selby at the 41, and the Indians will start on a short field. So maybe that ankle's bothering Zach Keenan. In fact, he limps out onto the field to play his defensive back position.
Yeah, I was talking to his dad. He said that it's harder for him to punt than it is to kick. So with Keenan, it's the punting. He could also later on, as a quarterback, possibly run a fake off that. We got to stop them defensively first.
1st and 10 Indians from their own 41-yard line, leading 6-0 with 8:19 remaining in the first quarter. Double wing formation, double tight. And Jones turns, gives it to Johnson, the fullback, and he's stacked up and powers his way forward out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4 on that carry.
Stephen Etley got in, grabbed his legs, took his power away from him, and they had help from Brad Inning to bring him down.
The Explorers closed that one down a little bit better than they had any play on that first drive.
They still got 3 yards out of it.
Yeah, still the power of Johnson, and he carried tacklers with him. 2nd and a long 6 for the Indians just outside their own 45-yard line. A receiver wide to the left side. They put a man in
counter
motion.
again.
Now here's the wing counter, and that goes nowhere as Mitch Woolner is there to shut it off on the carry. Was number 2, Aston McIntosh, and he lost a yard back to the 44, and a good play by Mitch Woolner.
That time Marquette got a little backfield penetration from their line, which they need to slow that counter down.
So 3rd and 8 Indians from their own 44-yard line, and the Explorers need a stop here. The Indians shuttling plays in from the near sideline, and a little slow coming out of the huddle this time. They send receivers left and right, a slot man to the left, empty backfield. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Josh Jones under center, and there's a delay of game. I thought that was going to be a possibility because they were very slow in getting the play in. That's the first penalty of the afternoon, and it goes against the home team, Johnston City.
They never seemed to be in a hurry to get to the line to set up and snap the ball, which was kind of surprising. They just looked really lackadaisical.
Well, that turns 3rd and 8 into 3rd and 13 from their own 39-yard line.
This has been a problem for Marquette all year in the losses that they've had, stopping teams on 3rd and long.
Now Johnston City comes out in a double wing formation with a receiver wide to the right side. Josh Jones under center on 3rd and 13. He rolls to his right, looking downfield, lets it go. He's got a man just shy of midfield, and he dives forward. He's going to be very close to the first down. He lost the football, and he's going to get a very favorable spot. A very favorable spot, and they ended up picking up 14 when they only needed 13.
Well, they only sent 2 guys out on the pattern, Sam, and there was nobody within 5 yards of the player when he caught the ball, and he was 3 yards short of the first down. Explorers couldn't stop him before he got it.
Zach Keenan hit him, but he dived forward, and it's a first down, the 3rd of the afternoon for the Indians, and now whistles and flags, and somebody's offside. We're looking right down the line of scrimmage. It's going to be offside against The Indians.
The Indians, their right guard put his hand down right on the neutral zone, and you can't enter the neutral zone. Either offensively or defensively, it's an automatic penalty.
So 1st and 15, Johnston City from their own 47-yard line. Double wing formation, double tight end set. Josh Jones under center, turns, gives to the fullback, working the left side. Lots of running room into Explorer territory, down to the Marquette 43-yard line. And a gain on that play of about almost 10 yards. We'll call it a gain of 9. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
All they did was kick out the end. Thomas Hendrick and the linebacker, Brad Emming, was already outside. He just cut up inside both of them and had good running room. 2nd
down and 6. Johnston City at the Marquette 43-yard line. Johnston City leading 6-0 midway through the first quarter. Here's the give to Johnson, the fullback, and he's going to have 1st down yardage. This time working the right side. He took it inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 6 and the 4th 1st down here in the first quarter for the Indians.
The Explorers are going to have to start manning up on that defensive line and try and get a stop here.
Well, this is starting to look like last week's game when that running back for Hillsboro ran for over 275 yards against the Explorers. They just never were able to stop him. And so far, Colton Johnson, 6 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10, Indians at the Marquette 37. A man in motion to the right side. They run that wing counter. And this time, the wingman, McIntosh, inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. And he picked up about 5 on that carry.
Mitch Woolner and Stephen Etley finally bring him down, but they're getting good momentum going forward before the Explorers are able to get to him.
So we'll call that a gain of 4 as they put the football down at the Marquette, just outside the Marquette 33-yard line. 2nd and 6. That play was shut off at the point of attack, and the running back kind of cut it back. Found a little running room inside. Double wing, double tight, and now a timeout called by the Indians. 4:32 remaining here in the first quarter. It's Johnston City 6, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
When you play sports like football, injuries are going to happen. That's why more area schools count on the Human Motion Institute's sports medicine pros to keep their athletes healthy and in the game. Our certified athletic trainers are part of the team, assessing and treating injuries right on the field. And if serious injury occurs, they're backed by an expert team of Alton Memorial Hospital surgeons and therapists. The Human Motion Institute at Alton Memorial Hospital. We're part of the team.
Take a look at the latest J.D. Power & Associates insurance certifications for customer satisfaction. Know what each certified agency has in common?
Each is with American Family Insurance.
In fact, American Family Agencies are the first agencies certified by J.D. Power & Associates.
According to our policyholders, our agents deliver an outstanding customer experience.
American Family Insurance.
All your protection
under one roof.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062 or stop by 3014 Godfrey Road.
With Joe Barrett, Sam Stem back in Johnston City. The first round of the Class 2A playoffs. Johnston City leading Marquette by a score of 6-0 in the first quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Indians, and back to throw. Jones looking downfield. He's got him in. Oh! Broken up by Michael Selby. Selby stepped in at the last moment. It looked like Justin Morningway was wide open down at the 10-yard line, and from nowhere, here came Selby, and I think Jones hung that one up just a little bit.
Yes, he did. I noticed on the play that Cecil Brimage had come off the play before. That may have been why the coach called a timeout and changed his play to go to a pass play. Try and catch Selby, who doesn't play cornerback that often. Try and catch him in a bad position.
Well, Selby got back and broke that one up. Now 3rd and 6 for the Indians at the Marquette 33-yard line. Double wing, double tight. Here's the give to the fullback, Johnson. Huge running room inside the 30 down to the 29. He's going to be shy of the first down by a yard or 2, but they'll likely go here.
Yeah, that was a good stop by the Explorers once they got to him. But again, Sam, that he's wide open at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and the Explorers aren't getting him until he's 2 or 3 yards downfield. And with his momentum, he just gets 2 or 3 more yards after they hit him.
Well, that time they just pushed the Marquette defensive line back about 5 yards right off the snap. Now 4th and 1 Indians at the Marquette 28-yard line. Here's the give to Johnson, a fullback, and he knifes to the right side. He's got the first down to the 26. He picked up 2 on the carry. He only needed 1 yard. Our first down, the 5th here in the first quarter for Johnston City.
They just keep moving the ball to run on the clock.
Colton Johnston now 8 carries for 45 yards. The clock continues to roll now with 3:45 remaining in the first quarter. Johnston City on its first possession went 80 yards on 4 plays. This drive started at their own 41. They have it 1st and 10 at the Marquette 26-yard line. A receiver to the left side, a man in motion to the right side. They run that wing counter, and there once again is Mitch Woolner to blow it up. On the carry was McIntosh. They run that counter 3 times, and twice Mitch Woolner has stopped it for no gain or a loss.
When they run it to the left, Woolner's there to stop him. He comes from his nose tackle position and stops the play, but when they run it to the right, nobody comes over to stop it. That's where they've gotten their big yards.
2nd down and 10 for the Indians at the Marquette 26-yard line. Marquette needs a stop here. They can't afford to fall further behind. The receiver wide to the right side. Now the back's in the eye. Josh Jones under center takes the snap, takes the pitch back, rolling to his right. He wants to throw. He's got a man downfield. He completes the pass inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Making the reception was Jake Hewlett, and that'll go as a gain of 8 on the play and bring about 3rd and 2.
The one thing that they're faking the run, which holds the linebackers and the linemen. So when you're able to successfully run the ball, it allows your passing game to open up a little bit, and that's what they're using right now.
3rd and 2 Indians at the Marquette 18-yard line. They go back to the double wing, double tight. And now flag and whistles as somebody again was in that neutral zone. This time it's Johnston City once again, and you just can't afford to do that in the 10th game of the season.
Well, you wouldn't think so. It's just got to be, you got to look at where the ball is, Sam, and look at the sideline and make sure you're just behind it. I think he's just setting up in the neutral zone, and that's automatic.
Let's see if that's a big break for Marquette. Now 3rd and 8. Indians at the 23 of the Explorers.
You need a stop.
Double tight, double wing. Jones takes a stab and goes on the quarterback sneak right up the middle. Well, that was a good play on 3rd and 2, but not 3rd and 8. He took it down to the 20. A gain of about 3 on the carry, but it's going to be 4th down now. 4th and maybe 4 or 5 for the Indians.
Well, they may be setting up for a field goal attempt. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. He's calling a play for number 11 to bring in, so they're going to go for it here on
4th and 4.
This is where the Explorers need to really step up and make a play.
4th and 4 Indians at the Marquette 20-yard line, down to 1:22 and counting. Remaining in the first quarter, Johnston City leading 6-0. Big 4th down play at the Marquette 20. Man in motion to the left side, and Jones rolls to his left, throws down the middle of the field, incomplete. Mitch Woolner was all over him, and he threw the ball sooner than he wanted to. Went for a man down the middle, and the Marquette defense holds, and the Explorers will take over at their own 20.
Yes, he did, and the man was actually open, but he couldn't turn quick enough to get to the ball, and because of the pressure, he couldn't get enough on the throw anyway to get it to him. So good play there by Woolner to pressure.
So that drive went from the Johnston City 41 down to the Marquette 20 before it stalled.
Took about 6.5 minutes, too.
Now the Marquette offense, which went 3 and out on its first possession, starts 1st and 10 from their own 20. They put Bryce Smith in motion to the left side and give it to Utley right up the middle. Breaks a tackle, crosses the 25 and takes it out to the 27-yard line. A gain of 7 for Utley, and that's what the Explorers have to do. They have to establish that fullback.
Yeah, and he made a nice move right at the line because he got hit, was able to break free and get an extra 6-7 yards out of it because of the fact that he broke that first tackle. He had a hole, but the lineman grabbed his ankle and tried to pull him down, but he was able to pull out of it.
Gain of 6. They said his knee went down at the 26-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Explorers. Double tight, double wing. And now Travis Jones in motion to the left side, and here's the give to Utley, and Utley has 1st down yardage out to the 30. He picked up 4 on the play and the first down of the afternoon for the Explorers, and he was about a step from breaking that for an even bigger gain.
Yeah, we'll see if they give him the 1st down. Yeah, they gave him the 1st down. It was pretty close, but they went ahead and gave it to him, didn't measure.
We're down to 27 seconds remaining in the quarter. They'll roll the clock now as they get the chain set after the Explorers picked up their initial 1st down of the ball game. First and 10 from their own 30. Double tight, double wing. Keenan Everland under center puts Bryce Smith in motion to the right side. Here's the give to Utley. And Utley pounds his way forward for a gain of about 3, maybe 4. Right up the gut he went.
You're right, Sam. They've got to establish that inside game and make the Indians aware of it, because that'll just open up the outside for their speed back if they can get it to them.
You know who taught me that?
John Rogers?
Coach Rogers. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Johnston City 6, the Explorers nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Toyota has more cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. So no matter how high gas prices get, you can keep moving forward.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Live from Johnston City, Illinois, the first round of the Class 2A IHSA Playoffs. After 12 minutes of action, Johnston City leads Marquette 6-0. The Explorers have just picked up their initial first down of the afternoon. Johnston City dominated that first quarter, but Marquette escaped, trailing only 6-0. It's 2nd and 6 for the Explorers from their own 34-yard line. There's a fumble, the ball loose, and Johnston City has recovered all the way back at the Marquette 27-yard line. I think that was going to be a pitch to Travis Jones, who had gone in motion. And again, Keenan Everland, I guess, just didn't get a good handle on it.
I don't think so. Looks like he lost it before he turned away from the center.
And that's a critical turnover, because now the Indians, on the first play of the second quarter, start 1st and 10 at the Marquette 27-yard line.
Can't give them this kind of field position with the way they can run the ball.
And the Indians come out double tight, double wing. And they give it to the fullback, Colton Johnson. He tries to kick it outside to the right side, and somebody reaches out Angelo Cross. Got Colton Johnson from behind and hauled him down after a gain of maybe 3.
Yeah, it was a good play by the Explorers that was supposed to go off of the guard, and the Explorers plugged that hole, and he tried to bounce it to the outside, and Angelo was able to grab hold of his jersey and hold on to him till he got him to the ground.
2nd down and 7 for the Indians at the Marquette 24-yard line. Double tight, double wing. Josh Jones takes the snap, turns, gives to the fullback Johnson, and Johnson inside the 25 down to about the 22-yard line. A gain of a couple on that one as Thomas Hendrick made the tackle.
Thomas made a very nice play on that. He beat his block, got into the backfield, and was able to corral the fullback before he got too far away and get his momentum going. Was able to bring him down.
So 3rd and 6 for Johnston City at the Explorer 23-yard line. That's a gain of only a yard by Colton Johnson, and that's something we haven't said very often. Usually he gets more than that. A receiver wide to the right side on 3rd and 6. Here is Jones rolling to his right. Lets it go downfield, and that is batted down by Angelo Cross. He went high in the air from his linebacker position and batted that one down. The intended receiver was on the right sideline. That was Jake Hewitt out there, and it looked like he might have been open, but Angelo did a good job to get up and knock that one down.
Yes, he did. He was running backwards as he jumped up to get it. I was really surprised how high he was able to get to bat it down. And we had 3 or 4 guys in the area, but nobody could get to the ball quick enough to catch it.
Now the officials stopped the clock as Mitch Woolner has thrown a shoe, so they're going to allow him to get it back on, and that's good news.
Yes, it is. You don't want him coming out of the game.
And so the Indians will go on 4th and 6 at the Marquette 23. Well, the Explorers stopped a 4th down try right there at the end of the first quarter. And now the Indians will go once again And they're not shy about throwing the football. So far, Jones has completed 2 of 5 for 22 yards.
You need to get pressure on him, though, Sam. Don't let him set up back there.
The Indians leading 6-0, facing 4th and 6 at the Marquette 23. They put a man in motion to the right side, and they set up a screen out to the left. A wide receiver screen to Hewitt, and the Explorers blow it up. A short gain, a gain of maybe a yard and no more, and the Explorers will take over on down.
If he'd have thrown that pass the first time he looked over there, I think they might have picked it up, Sam, but that allowed the Explorers secondary and linebackers, Brad Emming in particular, to get over there and cover the screen. He had blockers, but Emming fought through the block and was able to make the tackle.
Well, all the motion was to the right side, and then they set up the wide receiver screen on the left side. Look out down the road. They may fake that to the left and come back to the right.
I'm waiting for him. He rolls out to the right a lot. I'm waiting for him to keep the ball and take off running one of these times, too.
1st and 10, Explorers from their own 22-yard line. Marquette with only 1 first down so far in the game. We're early second quarter, and here's the give. Utley right up the middle. Big yardage. There's another first down as Utley crosses the 30 and takes it out to the 34-yard line. A gain of 12 and a first down for the Explorers.
With Travis Jones going in motion, similar play to where they fumbled last time. They faked the handoff to Jones, gave it to Utley. He had a huge hole, Sam, right over Mitch Woolner, and was able to get 12 yards on the play. Good thing for the Explorers.
1st and 10, Marquette. The Explorers trail 6-0. Double tight, double wing. Keenan Eberlin puts Travis Jones in motion to the right side, and they may have drawn.
I think Marquette moved first.
Did Marquette move?
I think Michael Kelly jumped. We'll see what they call here. There was movement on both sides, but I don't think they were in the neutral zone when it happened.
The officials talk it over. And if Johnston City moved into the neutral zone before the Explorers moved, it's on them. If the Explorers move first, and it is against the Explorers, so 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 on Marquette's first penalty of the afternoon. Well, you'd like to see Marquette get a drive put together here because they've kind of weathered the early storm. Johnston City has dominated the early going and twice failed on 4th down inside the 25. Marquette trailing only 6-0. Here's a pitch back to Brimage. Brimage trying to turn that left corner and gets only to the 25-yard line and no further. And that'll be a loss of about 3 on that play and make it 2nd and 18. That time they put 3 receivers wide to the left side and just did the toss sweep to that side. That worked very well numerous times up in Carlinville, but Johnston City was aware of it.
Well, the problem with the Explorers on that play was they didn't contain the defensive end and give Brimage a chance to turn the corner. The defensive end made it upfield and blew the play up.
2nd down and 18 for the Explorers from their own 25-yard line. They put Bryce Smith in motion to the right side. And back to throw is Eberlin, rolling to his right. Set, lets it go downfield, intended for Brimage. It is picked off. They're fighting for the football, and the Indians come away with it at the 48 and return it back to the 40-yard line. It was Brimage, the intended receiver, and Derek Solomon got a hold of the football. Now there are flags at the point of the tackle, and Brimage and Solomon fought for it momentarily. Solomon, who's much bigger, came away with it, returned it about 9 yards to the 40, and now we have flags down on the play, and let's see what this is all about.
I've noticed on some of the return plays and plays where they've opened up in the field that the Explorers have gotten hit in the back and knocked down at different times, and no calls have been made. Now this time there was some wrestling going on back at the line of scrimmage with the linemen.
Holding against the defense
foul.
And a personal foul against the Explorers and an ejection. So 49, I guess, has been ejected. Solomon.
No, Mitch Woolner's been ejected.
Mitch Woolner's been ejected?
I don't know what happened there, but he got a personal foul.
Well, was the hold after the interception? Apparently so.
Yes, it was.
And so, well, that's going to be a big loss for the Explorers with Mitch Woolner being ejected from the ballgame. And now a timeout on the field. It comes with 9:06 remaining in the first half. Johnston City 6, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
When making the biggest investment of your life, you should expect the experience, professionalism, and commitment of a full-time realtor. Lisa Funk will provide you with results you can count on. Satisfaction guaranteed. Only agent in town that offers a free moving van when you buy or sell. Her experience is not expensive, it's priceless. So look for Lisa for all your real estate needs at 910 Funk or www.lisafunk.com. Riverbender's top producing broker year after year.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the island of Bora Bora. Enjoy your stay.
This beautiful home contains 8 bedrooms, 2 family rooms, and a private jacuzzi just off the master bedroom.
Hey, anybody up for a cruise in my sweet boat?
What are you going to do with all the money you save from buying your car at Roberts Motors?
Roberts Motors in Alton or online at RiverBender.com.
Well, it's a hold after the interception, a hold against Johnston City, and then a personal foul and an ejection of Mitch Woolner for the Explorers. So Johnston City on the exchange ends up with 5 extra yards. The Explorers apparently lose Mitch Woolner. They did show an ejection, and the only personal foul was against the Explorers. Now Explorer coach Tim Nelson calls the referee over and says, "What happened? You know, what did my guy do?" And it must have been something awfully flagrant in the eyes of the officials to eject him for a personal foul. But that will give the Indians the football at the Marquette 35-yard line, and once again this Marquette defense is going to be tested, and they'll have to find a way to do it without Mitch Woolner, who is such a big cog on that line both ways.
Yeah, he has. He's been their only consistent player so far on the defensive line. They've had plays here and there from others, but Mitch has been in there trying to do his best.
Well, an extended conversation over there between Tim Nelson and the referee. And now the referee is going to set things, and we're going to get back underway. So that was the second Explorer turnover here in the first half.
Can't keep giving this team opportunities like this, Sam.
1st and 10 Indians, who lead it 6-0. They're at the Marquette 35-yard line. 2 receivers wide to the right side, a wing to the right. Josh Jones under center turns, gives it to the fullback Johnson, and Johnson has good running room. Inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line, a gain of 7 on that carry.
Yeah, they ran right over the right side of the center and had a big hole for Johnson to get through, and the Explorers slow reacting to him.
2nd and 4, Johnston City at the Marquette 28-yard line. We're down to 8:35 and counting remaining here in the first half. Johnston City leading 6-0. They scored on their first possession, an 80-yard drive. Here is the fullback once again. Johnson, first down yardage inside the 25 all the way down to the 21-yard line. And a gain of 13 on that carry. And the 6th first down of the first half for the Indians.
Yeah, this time he went to the left side of the center. We've got a nose tackle right over the center. That's Mitch's position. He's been running either side of it. And that's where he's been picking up his big yards the last 2 plays.
Well, he said Johnson, he went down at the 22, 1st and 10 Indians right there. 2 receivers wide to the left side, a wing to the left. And here's the give once again. This is the fullback Johnson. This time he kicks it outside to the left side. Takes it inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. And good yardage there as well, as the Indians continue to dominate the line of scrimmage. We will call that a 6-yard gain for Johnson on that carry.
Yeah, finally Bryce Smith and Michael Selby were able to bring him down, but it's still a 6-yard gain. Explorers got to be able to grab him at the line of scrimmage somehow, get in there and slow him down.
Second and
help to get him down.
2nd and 4 at the 17-yard line of the Explorers. And here's the give to Johnson, and this time he is tackled immediately on the play by the Explorers, number 66, Jesse Bowman. And Bowman throws him for a loss and put it back to the 19-yard line, a loss of 2, and a good play there by Jesse Bowman.
Yeah, he just flew into the backfield and grabbed the fullback as soon as he got the ball. Now Johnson's coming off. Probably wore out.
Colton Johnson, 14 carries, 71 yards in less than a quarter and a half.
Probably going to be passing, although they do have 31 in at fullback.
3rd and we'll call it 6 for the Indians at the Marquette 19-yard line. Here is the give to the fullback. Right up the middle he goes to the 10-yard line. On the carry, spelling Johnson was number 31, Aaron Kogue. Pogue, a junior, steps in there and picks up first down yardage. Now we have an Explorer down and injured after the 9-yard gain by Pogue. There's also a flag
Well, he finally
all the
threw
way
the
over on
flag.
the far sideline.
I tell you, there's a lot of late hitting going on, Sam, unnecessary stuff going on, and that's probably why Mitch Woolner got ejected. But, you know, this is when you're running the ball as effectively as the Indians are, you know, and they're taking they're just telling the Explorers, you know, we're better than you, and we're going to hit you right into the ground.
They just picked up that flag, too.
Well, he already called the personal foul.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see the call. So it would have been first down for the Indians at the Marquette 10-yard line. And now with the injured Explorer down, there's a timeout. Well, it's a Marquette timeout. They charge the Explorers with the timeout. It comes with 6:38 remaining here in the second quarter. It's Johnston City 6, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Hi, George Weber. As we watch this year's Olympic Games and root for the world's top athletes, the Weber Chevrolet family wants to offer some encouragement to the terrific men and women representing our country. You are the best of the best. We know how hard you have worked. Win or lose, we are proud of you, and you are all truly winners. Even though you are half a world away, we are with you through every sprint, jump, and dive. And we sing along with you when you stand on that medal stand listening to the national anthem. So from all of us at Weber Chevrolet, go Team USA.
Sports, food, and good times. All this and more are waiting for you at Alton Sports Tab. Gather the crew for a night out, or better yet, bring in the whole family and enjoy the best burger or wings in town. We offer daily specials, an affordable menu, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Visit our new Caribbean-themed edition. We also have banquet and meeting rooms for your special occasion. Alton Sports Tab, serving up sports, food, and good times daily at the intersection of Route 140 and Homer Adams Parkway in Alton.
The injured Explorer was Gary Clark. He's helped to the far sideline with a foot injury. The penalty was against Johnston City for a personal foul. After they picked up the first down at the 10-yard line, then they walked off 15 back to the 25, and it makes it 1st and 10 right there. So the Explorers still with an opportunity to dodge another bullet twice. Johnston City drives have stalled inside the Marquette 25-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Explorers 25. And Jones back to throw. Lets it go deep down the right sideline and overthrows everybody. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, he had a pump and go, but the Explorers actually had it covered very well. They had double coverage on number 2. And Zach Keenan had the deep coverage, but he threw that ball way out of bounds. There was no way he was going to catch that.
Josh Jones has completed 3 of 7 pass attempts for 23 yards. Johnston City has not turned the football over. Marquette has turned it over twice, and yet the Explorers trail only 6-0 as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. 2nd and 10 Indians at the Marquette 25-yard line. Double tight, double wing. Jones takes the snap, turns, gives to his fullback, and he spins his way off tackle inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Pogue, a 7-yard gain on that carry.
Well, Angelo Cross made a good play to keep him from going to the outside, but there was nobody coming in behind him to stop him at the line of scrimmage, and he ended up able to pick up those 6 or 7 yards, Sam.
So Pogue, Aaron Pogue, spelling starting fullback Colton Johnson has picked up 25 yards on 2 carries. Now 3rd and 4 for the Indians, and here's a quarterback sneak by Jones, and he takes it down to inside the 15 to 14-yard line, and that'll be a first down as he picked up 5 on that quarterback sneak.
Well, maybe that's why they ran it on 3rd and 6 before. They picked up pretty good yards on that play.
So the 8th first down of the first half for Johnston City. The clock rolling with 5:45 remaining in the half. 1st and 10 Indians at the Marquette 14-yard line. Double tight, double wing. Colton Johnson back in there at fullback. On the first down play, they give it to Johnson, working the left side, breaks the first tackle, takes it inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 on that carry.
They're just letting them run wild, Sam. They're not fighting off their blocks and getting to him quick enough, and he's able to run downhill on them.
And then it appears that Johnson almost every time is able to break that first tackle. The first tackler is not able to bring him down. And that always packs 2 or 3 or 4 more on good. 2nd and 4 Indians at the Marquette 8-yard line. Double tight, double wing. Johnson, the fullback. On the second down play, whistles and flags prior to the snap.
Got to be a line move somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's calling it against the
offside. Against the Indians. The 3rd time here in the first half they have lined up offside.
That's amazing to see that. Like you said, in the 10th week of the season, it's a simple thing that you teach your linemen.
So it's what was 2nd and 4 becomes 2nd and 9. Back at the 13-yard line. Jones under center. Takes the snap, turns, gives it to Johnson, the fullback. That time he's hit immediately. Thomas Hendrick, now flags come in at the point of the tackle with about a 2-yard gain for Johnson.
I don't know what they're going to call. I thought he had him around the shoulder pad, but they might be calling a face mask against Marquette. I don't know. See what happens here.
Well, there were a number of flags that came in. And this is a personal foul, face mask against the Explorers. That'll be half the distance to the goal line from about the 12-yard line and give them 1st and goal at the 6. So, the penalties have hurt the Explorers. Marquette penalized now on numerous occasions. Actually, that's only Marquette's 3rd penalty, but each one has been
significant.
Very significant. Well, it wasn't the first tackler that got the face mask.
Actually,
somebody came in later.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, it's going to be...
well, it's not an automatic first down. It's going to be 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2.
The line of scrimmage, the Explorers 6-yard line.
6 yards they didn't need to give him.
Double tight, double wing. Now Pogue back in there, but it's going to be Jones, the quarterback, right up the middle, and he is in for the touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run by Josh Jones. It comes with 4:10 remaining here in the first half.
Logan Holland is the offensive center. No, I'm sorry. Jason Clendenin is the offensive center. He's 6'1", 290 pounds, Sam. And he just ran his way into the end zone. And the quarterback, Josh Jones, was able to follow him in.
Now Mornaway will attempt the extra point, or will
they're going to go for 2.
They are going to go for 2 after they missed the first extra point. So they line it up for the 2-point attempt. And they are once again double tight, double wing, Pogue the fullback. But they go in the quarterback sneak, and easily Jones takes it in for the 2-point conversion. 4:10 remaining in the first half. It's Johnston City 14, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Business owners all around the River Bend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com.
Sam along with Joe Barrett back in Johnston City, where the homestanding Indians have opened a 14-0 lead with just 4:10 remaining in the first half. And Joe, Marquette just absolutely has to find some offense on this possession.
And they got to be able to hold on to the ball, Sam.
Yeah, Marquette has turned it over twice. The Marquette defense twice has stopped Johnston City inside the Explorer 25, but the most recent turnover led to the touchdown. The Indians just scored, so the Explorers defense has been overworked here in the first half. And now Travis Jones will watch this one hop in front of him, finally picks it up to 15, out to the 20, to the 22, stacked up there. And the Explorer offense back out onto the field. Marquette with 2 turnovers and really haven't shown the ability to stop the Indians except deep in Marquette territory.
The whole game, Sam, has been played on the Marquette side of the 50-yard line.
And that's not good.
2 plays. And the kickoff. It's not good. But, you know, you're only down 2 scores. What you want to do here is try and get something, move it down the field, maybe get a score. At least you'll get the ball starting off the second half.
Michael Selby wide to the left side, double wing formation. Bryce Smith in motion to the right side, and here's the give to Utley right up the middle, huge hole. Utley out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. That was close to being a late hit. That's a gain of 12 and a first down for the Explorers.
Yeah, they used to call that piling on when I was in school, but I guess it's okay nowadays.
Utley, 38 yards on 6 carries. First and 10 for the Explorers, the 3rd first down of the afternoon for the Explorers. They send Zach Keenan wide to the right side, double wing. Eberlin on the first down play from the Explorer 34, gives it to Utley. He runs into his own man at the line of scrimmage, finds the hole, and takes it out to the 39-yard line for a gain of nearly 5.
Stephen Utley has a great sense of where to run the ball. That play was designed to go to the right, off between the guard and the right tackle. And that hole was plugged up, and he quickly shifted his weight and seat and went to the left and picked up 5 yards. That was just a fabulous run.
3:20 and counting remaining in the first half. Johnston City leading 14-0. 2 receivers wide right. Now the Explorers run the option to the right side, and Eberlin turns that right corner. Keenan Eberlin out to midfield, has another Explorer first down after an 11-yard pickup.
Earlier this year, Sam, Keenan was always pitching that ball, and it hardly ever worked for the Explorers. That time he wisely kept it, cut up field, and made a nice run to get 10 yards.
And I believe if Marquette can cross midfield, because the football is just on their side of the 50, if they cross midfield in the next play or two, that'll be the first time this afternoon they'll be in Indian territory.
Yes, it will.
Keenan wide to the right side. Brimage in motion to the left, and the give it to Utley right up the middle, and this time he stacked up after a 2-yard gain. Now again, an Explorer brought to the turf after the whistle, and he's not very happy.
No.
The Explorer faithful on the far sideline hollering as Patrick Fitzgerald was knocked on his butt.
Yeah.
It appeared to be late.
After the whistle was over, he got slammed to the ground, and referees are just standing there looking at him like, well, we can't help that.
2nd and 8 for the Explorers at the 48 of the Indians. Keenan wide right, Selby wide left. Double wing formation. They put Jones in motion to the right side and give it to Utley trying to work the right side, and he is stacked up for no gain on the play. They faked that jet play to Travis Jones coming back to the left side, and instead gave it to Utley, and Utley actually lost about a foot on that play, and it's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Explorers.
He had nothing there. They saw that play earlier when the Explorers were able to pick up 12 yards. At that time, the Indians had it stopped. Probably would have been better off to hand the ball off to Travis to let him run with it.
Down to 1:45 and counting remaining in the first half, and now they stop the clock. And the Indians want a timeout. 1:42 remaining first half. Johnston City 14, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
When you play sports like football, injuries are going to happen. That's why more area schools count on the Human Motion Institute's sports medicine pros to keep their athletes healthy and in the game. Our certified athletic trainers are part of the team, assessing and treating injuries right on the field. And if serious injury occurs, they're backed by an expert team of Alton Memorial Hospital surgeons and therapists. The Human Motion Institute at Alton Memorial Hospital. We're part of the team.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
3rd and 8 Marquette at the 48 of Johnston City, and here's the give up the middle to Bryce Smith on a delay. They faked a pitch back and gave it to Smith on the delay, and he picks up 3 down to the 45, inside to 45, and it's going to be 4th and 5 for the Explorers with 1:25 and counting remaining.
That was a play, Sam, we haven't seen all year, and it actually looked like it was going to be worth some good yardage, but Smith got caught up by a linebacker and was unable to break free.
Bryce Smith's first carry of the afternoon, and the Explorers will go on 4th and 5 at the 45 with 1:05 remaining in the half. Receivers left and right, double wing. They put Smith in motion to the right side, and the Indians jump offside, and that'll be a free 5 for the Explorers, and it should be a first down. If that football was inside the 45 and the marker is right at the 40, it's going to be against the Explorers.
Well,
I can't believe that.
Well, it looks to me, Sam, like they actually didn't get into the neutral zone when they moved. And I didn't see any Explorers move, but they threw the flag, so can't argue with that.
They sure blew the whistle when that Johnston City player jumped.
Yeah.
He jumped back, so it wasn't like he was.
No, he wasn't. I was watching. It's right on our line of scrimmage. He's right in front of us, and I was watching him. He didn't get into the line of scrimmage, but I didn't see any Explorer move.
So 4th and 10, Marquette now with 42 seconds remaining in the half, and Eberlin drops to throw. He's got time. He sets. Now he wants to run with it.
He can get it if he can get outside here.
Down the left sideline, he tries to make it to the 45 and brought down at the 42-yard line, 2 yards shy of the first down with 27 seconds remaining. The Indians will get the football back.
Well, apparently the Explorers are taking a little book from the Indians, and they're blocking all over the field till the whistle blows for the 3rd time, and we've got an injured Indian on the field.
Jake Hewitt. He gets up under his own power now and still going to stay in the football game. So Eberlin picked up 8 on the scramble. He needed 10, and the Indians will have the football at their own 42 with 27 seconds remaining in the half. So the Explorer defense back out onto the field. And now here you can afford to bend. You just don't want to break.
No, and they don't. I don't believe Johnston City has any timeouts left. I think they've used all 3 of theirs. So they've got 12 men on the field.
They had 12 in a huddle. So that's a 5-yard walk-off against Johnston City. That's their 6th penalty for a total of 45 yards.
Yeah, they looked a little confused when they first went out there after the injury to their player. And he's got 4 wide receivers or 3 wide receivers to this side. He's had an extra running back in the backfield.
So 27 seconds remaining in the half. Johnston City leading 14-0. They've got trips to the right side. Hogue, the lone setback behind Josh Jones, who keeps it himself and runs to the right side and steps out of bounds at the 41. There was a last-second hit against Steve Utley, 5 yards away from the play. It had nothing to do with the play. Somebody put a shoulder in him, but Utley just got up and walked away after Jones picked up a yard.
He's a tough kid, and you know, he'll be a leader on the Explorers next year as a senior.
So that stops the clock with 22 seconds remaining. 2nd and still 10. There was no gain on that play for Jones. 2nd and 10 for the Indians. 2 receivers to the right side. Another receiver.
He moved. There's a movement right there. They finally called something on them.
And the 7th penalty of the first half against the Indians for a total of 50 yards. And that'll back them up 5 yards, and they'll have it 2nd and 15.
I've noticed that a couple times, that right tackle, right guard, they've had trouble lining up and then also getting set and then moving back, and that's the first time they've actually called them for moving back.
2nd and 15 Indians. Here's the give to the fullback right up the middle, and the first carry of the afternoon for Derek Johansson. And Johansson ends up picking up about 4 on the carry. And it's going to be 3rd and 11, and they won't even run another play. That is the end of the first half of action with the score. Johnston City 14, Marquette nothing. Back to recap the first half of action in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Alton Toyota. Toyota makes the car. Munganast makes the difference. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Lisa Funk, the Riverbend's top producing broker year after year. And by Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for 46 years.
Well, as we get set for the second half kickoff here in Johnston City with the Indians leading the Marquette Explorers 14-0. The Explorers will receive the second half kick and they will defend the west goals. So here in the third quarter, they'll be going from our left to our right. That means we're on the south side of the field. We got to say one thing: our vantage point here couldn't be any better. This we're 2 stories up in the press box. And we can't be more than, what, about 12 yards off the sideline?
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking right down into the bench of the Johnston City Indians. And I don't think I've ever been this close to a field broadcasting a football game.
No, you're not going to find a better seat than these, Sam, anywhere.
And we'd enjoy it a heck of a lot more if the Explorers can find a way to get their offense rolling here in the second half. They just haven't been able to sustain anything throughout the first half. And Johnston City has dominated the line of scrimmage. Back deep for the Explorers. No, Cecil Brimage isn't back there. It's Bryce Smith and Travis Jones. And Cecil's over on the far sideline without his helmet on. So he came out there in the first half for a while, but I think he came back, but now he's out. And this is going to be Bryce Smith from his own 10, out across the 15 to the 20. Smith breaks the tackle, crosses the 30, and takes it out to the 35-yard line, the 34-yard line. Explorers will start 1st and 10 right there after a nice return by Bryce Smith.
Bryce Smith actually is one of the fastest Explorers on the team. If he can get into the open field, Sam, they're going to have a hard time catching him. And he's got some really good moves. He just hasn't been used enough as a running back to get the experience to know what to do.
Well, with Brimage on the sideline, we may see more of Bryce Smith here. 1st and 10 for the Explorers from their own 34-yard line. Zach Keenan wide to the right side. Here's the give to Utley right up the middle. Big hole for Utley. Utley has close to first down yardage. He does have a first down out at the 45 as he took that one right up the gut and gained 11.
Yeah, that was a big hole. I don't know how the Explorers are able to do that, but Utley has about 3-yard wide opening to run through, and he got 7 yards before he was even touched. Made a nice run. Good blocking by the Explorers line.
Keenan wide right, double wing formation with Utley, the fullback. On the first down play, here's a snap to Eberlin. That play, the timing was off, and Keenan Eberlin takes it himself and picks up a couple out to the 47-yard line. And I think maybe the snap came early, and Eberlin was surprised, and nobody moved, but he had the football, and everybody else was still set, so he just took off and ran and picked up 2.
Yeah, I think he initially thought he could just take a knee and go to second down, but he decided to go ahead and run it. You're right, Sam. It was 2 or 3 seconds before anybody realized the ball had been snapped.
2nd and 8 for the Explorers. Here's the give to Utley up the middle. Utley dragging tacklers with him to near midfield for a gain of about 3 on that carry. It'll bring about 3rd and a long 5 for the Explorers.
Yeah, Utley gets right behind his blockers, just tries and follows them as much as he can. There wasn't much there, but hard work by the lineman just to get him 3 yards.
So the Explorers need to convert this 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Just underway in the second half, with Johnston City leading Marquette 14-0. Keenan wide to the right side, Howland wide left. Smith in motion. Now they give it on the wing counter to Travis Jones, and Jones is stacked up after only a 1-yard gain to the 49 of the Indians, and it's going to be 4th and 4 for the Explorers, and Here's the punt team is coming onto the field.
Yeah, they stayed home for that counter. They were expecting it, I think, Sam. They know the Explorers run that. And Travis Jones had nowhere to go. They had it snuffed out pretty easily.
On 4th and 4 for the Explorers. Keenan Eberle, it's a fake. They snap it to the up man. Utley's got first down yardage and then some. At the 40, at the 30, inside the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. And a big conversion there for the Explorers, 26 yards and a first down. And I'm shocked Marquette didn't get a penalty because Gary Clark went to the sideline from the huddle. And Marquette should have been called for too many men in the huddle.
But they actually never did huddle, Sam. They just lined up in punt position, and they counted men, and he ran off. But I'll tell you, they must not have had the film from the Hillsboro game, because Marquette ran that against Hillsboro game with the same result in the same part of the field.
So Marquette's deepest penetration, 1st and 10 at the 22 of the Indians. And here is the give on the counter. That's Travis Jones, and it just didn't open up. There's no hole there. Jones might have gained a yard, but no more.
Well, he got down near the 20-yard line. But like you said, Sam, there was no hole. And Jones has got to be quick when he's got to hit the hole that's there quick, or else he's in trouble. Once he gets his happy feet going, they can grab him. He's not strong enough to pull away from him.
Well, they put Smith in motion to the right side, faked the toss to him, and then gave it on the counter inside to Jones, and as Joe said, no hole at all. 2nd and 9 for the Explorers at the 21. Now whistles and flag, and somebody lined up offside again. Let's see who it is this time. I see the Indians clapping their hands. And
offsides against Marquette.
That's the first time they've been called for that all year. On offense.
On offense, yeah. Somebody must have lined up. I don't know.
Well,
because I didn't see any movement, and they didn't call a false start. So.
Well, they've called it.
That's about the 4th one this game.
Yeah, they called 3 against the Indians, and that's the first one against the Explorers for lining up offside. 2nd and 14 Explorers at the 26 of the Indians. Receivers left and right, the backs in the eye. And back to throw, Eberle, slant to the left side, completes it to Selby. He's inside the 15 down to about the 12-yard line. A gain of 13 on that play, and that might be a first down.
That's going to be close, Sam. I don't know if they're going to measure for this or not, but that was a really good play by the Explorers. I don't understand this. They moved the ball all the way over near the sideline. They're not even going to measure. You know, normally they set the ball down where the player's down and bring the sticks to them.
Over to the sticks and set it down and said, oh, that's short.
Yeah, but if you look at where they put the down marker is right where the first down marker is.
Third and 1 Explorers at the 13 of the Indians. And here is Utley, and Utley's going to have the first down to the 10-yard line, a 3-yard pickup, and the Explorer drive remains alive.
I think the Explorers got a little bit of a break on that play because it looked to me like Jesse Bowman, who was in for Mitch Woolner at the right guard spot, shifted a little bit before the ball snapped, but they didn't call for a false start. Explorers were able to pick up the first down.
1st and 10, Marquette just outside the 10 of the Indians. They could get a first down just shy of the goal line. They run the option to the right side. Eberle tries to turn it upfield, took it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Gained a yard, but no more. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a little bit more burst because there was the hole there, but he just couldn't get to it.
No, there was a good hole there, but you know, the Indians linebackers and defensive backs are really quick. They get to the ball pretty quick when they're going side to side. Up the middle, when Utley's running up the middle, they aren't as quick to get to him, but when they go side to side, they seem to be able to close in pretty quickly.
It's been a good drive for the Explorers, the best of the afternoon. Selby left, Keenan right. 2nd and 9, here is the give on the counter to Smith up the middle, and Bryce Smith takes it down to about the 6-yard line, a gain of about 3 on that carry, and that hole closed down quickly as again they faked that toss pitch and then gave it on the counter up the middle. And it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Explorers.
We may look at throwing another quick pass, Sam. Ryan Howland came in for Michael Selby on the play. He's a big kid. He could probably out-jump if they want to go that route.
He's wide to the left. On 3rd and 5, they give it to Utley right up the middle, and he is stacked up. His legs are still churning. He took it to maybe the 3-yard line. And it's going to be fourth and a long three for the Explorers at the 3, and they just have to go.
Yeah.
Field goal doesn't do you a whole lot of good here midway through the third quarter.
Shelby's coming back in with the play.
So 4th and 3 for the Explorers at the 3. They could get a first down just shy of the goal line. They send Zach Keenan wide to the right side. Double wing formation on the 4th down play. Smith in motion to the right side, and that play is blown up from the get-go. They gave it to Otley, and the tackler was there to meet him as soon as he got the football. Back at the 5-yard line, it's a 2-yard loss, and the Explorer drive stalls at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they've run that play, had success the first 2 times they ran it, but ever since they've tried it, he actually got down at the 4-yard line, but every other time that they've tried it, they've been unsuccessful.
So with 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, it's still 14-0 Johnston City. And now the Explorer defense desperately needs to make a stop and keep the good field position Marquette has. From the 4, the Indians give the football, and here is Johnson, the fullback, and he pounds his way out to the 9-yard line. A gain of about 5. He makes that look easy, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And he had a good open field to run in until he got hit by the Brad Hemming, I believe, was on the stop.
Well, it's not all him either. His line is opening holes for him and moving that line of scrimmage back. 2nd and nearly 6 for the Indians from their own 9-yard line. Double tight, double wing. Josh Jones. Under center
another
now.
Penalty flag. Somebody had to be on the line of scrimmage again.
It's going to be Johnston City, I believe. He's pointing that way. That's going to cost them
false start.
Illegal procedure.
I don't know what that was because they weren't even set yet, Sam. I didn't know you could call an illegal procedure. Something must have maybe moved the ball. The center might have picked the ball up or something, but that's a very rare call.
Linesman's been in the ball game, hasn't he?
Very noticeable. Wants to do one of the state final games, I guess.
Apparently so. So a 5-yard walk-off there. The 8th penalty of the afternoon. And it's now 2nd and 10. Johnston City from the 4. And here's the quarterback. Oh, they gave it on the handoff to Johnson. Quarterback Jones looked like he kept the football, and Johnson crossed the 10 and took it out to the 12-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Gain of 7. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it looked to me like the quarterback had faked it to him because they haven't done that very much. The quarterback hasn't run but one time this game. He looks like he's a pretty good athlete.
Well, Marquette really needs to stop here with 5:10 and counting remaining here in the third quarter. And Johnston City leading 14-0. A big 3rd and 3 for the Indians from their own 12-yard line. Here it is on the quarterback sneak. They stack him up, but he just keeps moving that pile.
Another late hit.
Very close to the first down. Very close to the first down.
I think he got it. Well, it depends on where they put the ball.
He's got his foot down short of the 15, and the chain, I think, is right on the 15.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a first down.
They're not going to throw the football over there to the sideline.
No, they're going to bring this time. They're going to bring him all the way over.
Well, we don't have a good angle, but Joe Barrett, with his eagle eyes, says he thinks it's a first down. And they're going to stretch it out, and it's going to be very, very close either way.
No, he's short. You're right.
2 inches short.
No,
2 inches short.
I'd be surprised if they punt, but you're up by 2 scores. You don't want to give them a short field.
Well, they take a big risk if they go for it. I mean, chances are they could get it because they haven't been stopped very often, but it is a big, big risk. And of course, one of the things they might do here is try to draw Marquette offside.
Which has been a problem last week against Hillsborough. We had 4 or 5 offside penalties that really hurt us.
So 4th and inches, Johnston City from their own 15-yard line. Marquette stacks it up in the middle. They put a man in motion, and I don't think they're going to snap. No, they don't snap it.
I think they called timeout, Tim.
They did call timeout.
I don't understand that. I mean, you're up 14-0, If you're going to go for it, go for it. If not,
punt.
But, you waste the timeout. Of course, their coach in the first half, he used timeouts.
Timeout on the field, 4:40 remaining third quarter. Johnston City 14, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
St. Anthony's Health Center, located in Alton, is serving the Riverbend area with quality patient care and comfort through comprehensive outpatient rehabilitative therapy services, advanced diagnostic technology, and emergency services, while also providing community education classes that benefit those of all ages. All brought to you by St. Anthony's Health Center's dedicated and caring health professionals.
Take a look at the latest J.D. Power & Associates insurance certifications for customer satisfaction. Know what each certified agency has in common?
Each is with American Family Insurance.
In fact, American Family Agencies are the first agency certified by J.D. Power & Associates.
According to our policyholders, our agents deliver an outstanding customer experience.
American Family Insurance.
All your protection
under one roof.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062 or stop by 3014 Godfrey Road.
Johnston City bounce and rolled dead at the Marquette 42-yard line. Now there's a flag back here at the goal line, and there were some extracurriculars back there. I don't think it was roughing the kicker, but something went on back near where the punter was standing.
Well, it was after the kick was thrown, so if it's anything, it'd be, if it's a personal foul against Marquette, it'll be, they should be their ball at the, inside their 45-yard line.
Well, the officials talking it over out near the 30-yard line. Now the flag lying back at the 3-yard line. And it's going to be a personal foul against Johnston City. And that'll give the Explorers 15 yards the other way. But no ejection. That's their second personal foul. Marquette with one personal foul.
And we had a face mask personal foul also.
Well, yeah. But in terms of the extracurriculars that have been going on, now I would assume they're going to tack that on to the end of the punt, and if that's the case, they'll move it down to about the 27 of the Indians. And that's what they do. They walk off 15 that way. 70 yards in penalties against the Indians on 9 penalties, and put the ball down at the 27-yard line of the Indians, and the Explorers with 4:29 remaining here in the third quarter have a life, because if they can punch this in from 27 yards out, we could have an interesting fourth quarter.
Well, let's see if they can control the ball here, Sam.
Double wing formation with a receiver to the left side for the Explorers, and it looks now like Eberlin is changing the play. Long count, and the Explorers jump. Well, whatever Eberlin was doing, I think he fooled Marquette more than he fooled Johnston City.
Well, the whole right side of the line took off on the certain count. I don't know if it was their fault or the center's fault, but it's awesome 5 yards regardless.
Well, Cecil Brimage has not played here in the second half, and he will not, because he's got his pads off over on the far sideline.
Looks like he may have a hand problem. Sam, might be a dislocated thumb or finger or something.
First and 15 for the Explorers at the 32 of the Indians. And here's the give to Bryce Smith on that jet play to the right side. He turns it upfield. He pounds his way down to the 28-yard line, a gain of 4 on that carry for Bryce Smith.
Yeah, that's a good hold for the Explorers, but they need to get more than, after that 5-yard penalty, they need to get more than they get 3 on the play.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
But they need to get more than that. I think it's second down and about 12, long 12.
The line of scrimmage, the 29 of the Indians. Michael Selby wide to the left side. Bryce Smith, the left wing. Travis Jones, the right wing. With Utley, the setback, and here's the give to Utley right at the middle, and they're just stacking the middle up. Utley had success early in the half on that play, but there's just no running room up the middle whatsoever. And no gain on the play. He might have gained a foot.
Yeah.
It's going to be third, we'll call it 3rd and 11 for the Explorers at the 27, 28.
He got the ball, Sam, and he ran into a wall. There were blockers and the defensive linemen in his way, and he had nowhere to go.
Utley, 16 carries for 89 yards, but he's been it. There's not been much offense otherwise. 3rd and 11 Explorers at the 28 of the Indians. Smith in motion to the right side, and you know that linesman needs to take the afternoon off. He's throws another flag, and I can't believe either one of these teams is lining up offside that much.
It's hard to believe. You know, I mean, I didn't see any movement.
This one goes against Johnston City, but after a while, you know, the official is just dominating, and I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine this late in the year that you're going to have that many penalties on the line of scrimmage without any movement.
3rd and 6 for the Explorers at the 22 of the Indians. Now they go double tight, double wing. And now the Explorers want a timeout. It comes with 2:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's Johnston City 14, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Business owners all around the River Bend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com. When making the biggest investment of your life, you should expect the experience, professionalism, and commitment of a full-time realtor. Lisa Funk will provide you with results you can count on, satisfaction guaranteed. Only agent in town that offers a free moving van when you buy or sell. Her experience is not expensive, it's priceless. So look for Lisa for all your real estate needs at 910 Funk or www.lisafunk.com. RiverBender's top producing broker year after year.
Including online account access and bill payment.
Oh, he got there.
Community Credit Union, York.
Touchdown.
On 3rd and 6 for Marquette, Eberlin rolls to his right and finds Michael Selby down the middle. It's a touchdown for the Explorers. And then more extracurriculars back behind the play as an Explorer and an Indian mixed it up. But it's a 22-yard touchdown pass from Eberlin to Michael Selby, and the Explorers are on the board. It comes with 2:48 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
I tell you, Sam, they faked a pitch run, and Selby just did it down and in and was wide open at the 5-yard line. Perfect pass by Eberlin, and he was able to get in the end zone without any trouble.
Now Zach Keenan's extra point attempt out of the hold of Keenan Eberlin. They line it up. The snap, the spot, the kick is blocked. The snap was not good. Eberlin had to reach out for it. But then I think Keenan just kicked a line drive right into the line. But nonetheless, the Explorers are still within one possession, with Johnston City leading 14-6. And I'll tell you what, at some point the officials need to step into this ballgame. I didn't see what happened behind the play on the touchdown pass. But I think it was Thomas Hendrick and 73 for the Indians, who is Austin Haynes. And Haynes had his helmet knocked off.
Right.
And they were in each other's faces, and the officials just stepped in and acted like nothing really much happened, except said, go your separate ways. At some point in time, you got to bring these guys together and say, stop it.
Right.
After the Explorer touchdown, it's 14-6. Johnston City leading Marquette with 2:48 remaining 3rd quarter. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
The Indians have trouble handling the football back there. Derek Solomon, and he returns it to the 15, and the Indians start 1st and 10 right there. Marquette needs to force another stop here as the Explorers are within 8 now at 14-6. Josh Jones under center, 1st and 10 Indians from their own 15. Here's the give to the fullback Johnson, and Johnson finds the left sideline. Eludes the tackle by Selby. Down the sideline he goes, and he may go all the way. One man to beat, he cuts it back, and he goes in for the touchdown, no flag. An 85-yard touchdown run by Johnson, the fullback, and he broke about 3 tackles along the way, Joe.
Yeah, he did. That was a big play that the Explorers needed to come out and make a defensive stop, and he had a big hole at the line of scrimmage. Michael Selby had him wrapped up. It looked like he could have tackled him, and he was able to break free from that tackle, go down the sidelines, picked up a block downfield, and was able to make a move at about the 15 to cut it back past Jesse Bowman and get it in the end zone.
That's his second touchdown run of the afternoon. This one, an 85-yarder, just like that. The Indians have their 2-touchdown lead back, and now Mornaway will attempt to add point number 21 for the Indians. They line it up, high snap, the ball is down, the kick is up high, long, and no good. He missed it wide left.
I'm glad those officials could tell, because I couldn't tell as high as that ball was. I could tell it went wide.
2:31 remaining in the third quarter. It's now 27-6. Johnston City leads Marquette. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Sports, food, and good times. All this and more are waiting for you at Alton Sports Tab. Gather the crew for a night out, or better yet, bring in the whole family and enjoy the best burger or wings in town. We offer daily specials, an affordable menu, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Visit our new Caribbean-themed edition. We also have banquet and meeting rooms for your special occasion. Alton Sports Tab, serving up sports, food, and good times daily at the intersection of Route 140 and Homer Adams Parkway in Alton.
Score, because I can't add, and because the sun's shining right on the scoreboard, you can't see the lights, but it's 20-6. Marquette trailing by 14, so they're right back where they were about 17 seconds ago. At 2:48 remaining third quarter, Marquette cut it to an 8-point deficit, but then Colton Johnson on the first play after the kickoff went 85 yards. It's back up to a 14-point deficit for the Explorers. And now the kick by Mornaway, and that's heading for the far sideline. But Smith picks it up at the 15, trying to find some running room. Right up the middle he goes. Bryce Smith breaking tackles, and finally brought
on
his feet out across the 35 to about the 39-yard line. What a gutsy run by Bryce Smith. And I thought he made a mistake when he picked it up to 15, but actually I think he did the right thing. I don't think it was going to roll out of bounds.
Yeah, initially it looked like it was headed towards the sidelines. Then it took a football bounce and just stopped about 3 yards from the sidelines, and they had a return set up for that side, and he cut it back to the middle and just made a fantastic run, all on determination, Sam. He had 3 guys wrapped him up at about the 33-yard line, and they thought they had him tackled, and he got 5 more yards after that.
Well, Marquette has trailed throughout, but they have not given up, and they've still got a chance. Here is Everlin, runs the option to the right side now, just keeps it himself, tried to go right back up the middle, got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It'll be 2nd and 10. And I'll tell you what, I think Marquette's going to have to throw the football because they're just coming hard and cutting off all the running lanes.
Let's go, Big D! Yeah, and actually, Everlin looked like he had a little lane to run in, but they're quick enough, Sam, where they've closed in on those holes really quick. They've got good football sense on their defense of where to go when there's an opening.
Keenan Everlin, 5 carries for 22 yards, 2nd and 10 Explorers from their own 39-yard line. Bryce Smith, the lone setback. They pitch it back to him. He tries to sweep the right side, turns the corner, slips through a tackle, still on his feet, driving hard across the 45 to the 46-yard line. What a run there by Bryce Smith as he ended up picking up 7 or 8. We'll call it a gain of 8, and it's going to be 3rd and a long 2 for the Explorers.
Yeah, that was a good run. He didn't have much of a gap to run through. He broke 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage and was able to fight for an extra 7 yards after the initial hit. And, the Explorers need some determination from their players now.
Down to 1 minute and counting remaining here in the third quarter. Johnston City leading 20-6. A receiver wide to the left side. 3rd and nearly 3 for the Explorers. And the give is to Utley right up the middle, and Utley is going to have the first down across.
Another late hit. No call on that. My goodness.
Well, Utley was defenseless and drilled, but Utley ended up picking up 4 yards on the carry. And a first down for Marquette at midfield.
Well, I tell you, Sam, he barely had the first down initially, but he just kept fighting, kept his legs moving, and was able to get to midfield. You know, the Explorers got to show some heart here. Almost the end of the third quarter. If they want to come back and win this game, it's got to come from the inside.
Howland wide left. Jones in the slot. Keenan wide right. Now they run the option to the left side. Eberlin turns it upfield, and Eberlin takes it inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line. A gain of 7 on that carry for Keenan Eberlin.
Yeah, this second half, the Explorers offense looks completely different than it did the first half, Sam. They look like they found something that they can do with the hard running of Utley up the middle. They've been able to spread the defense out a little bit.
Let's see if the Explorers beat the clock with 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. No, they do not. As the snap came just after the horn had sounded, that's the end of the third quarter. The score, Johnston City 20, Marquette 6. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
What do I have to do to sell you a car?
Roberts Motors, easy to get to, just off Highway 67 or Highway 3 in Alton.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home. With no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Well, 12 minutes remaining in the season for one of these two teams, Johnston City and Marquette. The Indians lead the Explorers 20-6 as we begin the fourth quarter. Marquette cut the deficit to within 8. They're late in the third quarter, but on the first play after the kickoff, Johnston City went 85 yards for a touchdown, and their lead is once again 14, but the Explorers face 2nd and 3 here at the 43 of the Indians. And they've got a cluster of receivers to the right side, just outside the tight end, with Utley the lone setback, and they give it to Utley right up the middle, and Utley is going to have the first down at the 40-yard line.
Well, it looks like he might be a little short.
Boy, he didn't get a good spot
no, he
there.
Did not.
He was lying across that 40-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and a foot.
Bad thing about that, Sam, is the way the line's been called today. You might get a 5-yard penalty and be 3rd and 6 all of a sudden.
Well, that spot was hard to believe. We had a good look at it here. Half his body was across the 40-yard line, but they put the ball down outside the 40. And now Eberlin keeps it on the quarterback sneak and picks up 2 yards and a first down. The 10th first down of the afternoon for the Explorers.
They had nobody over the center. On the 3rd and short play like that, Sam, you've got to have somebody over the center so to prevent that quarterback sneak. It's just giving them the first down on that play.
So the Explorers have time here. They trail by 14, but we're just underway in the fourth quarter. And Marquette has it 1st and 10 at the 38 of the Indians. I formation with Jones as the tailback. And here's the give to Travis Jones. Follows Utley into the hole. Jones keeps his legs turning and picks up 3 down to the 35-yard line. He was lucky to get that much.
Yeah, he was. There was no hole there. First time the Explorers have gone to that offensive set and just tried to power it. They don't have the power to go over these Indians. With a play like that, Sam, they've got to finesse the ball down the field.
Marquette playing without Mitch Woolner, who was ejected early in the second quarter after a personal foul. They're playing without Cecil Brimage, who is injured, and on the far sideline without his pads or helmet. 2nd and 7 Explorers at the 35 of the Indians. Keenan wide to the right side. They put Smith in motion to the right side. They run the option to the right side, and Everland's going to lose 5 all the way back to the 40-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Explorers.
Yeah, they're allowing their inside linebackers and linemen to stop the run with Utley, and they're keeping the Explorers from running the ball outside. They had three backs on that side to stop Everland. He had no chance once he rolled out.
3rd and 12 Marquette, just inside the 40 of the Indians. Clock rolling with 9:45 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Marquette's in 4-down territory, so they don't have to get it all right here. They put Travis Jones in motion to the left side, and Everland rolls to the right. He wants to throw, now he's going to run with it. A flag thrown downfield, and Everland takes it down to the 30-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down. But that flag might be good news for the Explorers. Typically, that's defensive holding back there.
Well, Michael Selby was laying on the ground near where the flag was thrown.
It is defensive holding. Marquette will take the penalty, even though it's less yardage than the play, because it'll give them an automatic first down.
Yeah, that's Selby was on the opposite side of the field of where he was, where Everland was running out. Now Everland looks to be a little shaken up after that last run. But he made a nice play to get up as far as he did. But the Explorers will get it 1st and 10 here. The penalty's all the way down to the 20-yard line.
They put it on the end of the play. Or more than that,
I think they put it on the spot of the foul.
That's not right, is it?
No. I don't know.
No, defensive holding is not a spot foul.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Scrimmage.
Yeah. No,
it was a hold against the Indians, defensive holding, and they marked it off in the spot of the foul. So Marquette has it 1st and 10 at the 20 of the Indians. High formation. Here is the give to Bryce Smith, and Bryce Smith stacked up for no gain on the play. Now Smith still being hassled well after the whistle, and finally just kind of gives the football to one of the Indians and says, "Get off of me." The whistle has blown.
Yeah, it's something that should have been taken care of in the first period. That they've let the late hits go, let the chippiness continue, and it's not what you want to see in a high school football game.
Well, and it's really up to the officials because neither team can back down.
No.
You can't say, well, we're going to back away. Neither team will do that. 2nd and 10 Explorers at the 20 of the Indians. And here's Everland rolling to his left, lets it go downfield. Zach Keenan makes the catch inside the 10 down at the 8-yard line. It was thrown behind him, and what a catch by Zach Keenan. A first down for the Explorers at the 8, 1st and goal.
Yeah, that was a great play by Zach Keenan, Sam. He was wide open. If Everland can lead him, he's got a touchdown. He throws it behind him, and Zach adjusts to the ball in midair and makes a great catch. Everland had to hurry that throw because he was under a little bit of pressure, and I imagine that's why he couldn't get it where he wanted to, but Zach Keenan just a fabulous play.
That stops the clock with 8:23 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Marquette trailing by 14, but it's 1st and goal Explorers at the 8 of the Indians. Double wing formation with a receiver wide to the right side. They put Smith in motion to the right side and give it to Utley right up the middle, and Utley slides off a tackle and picks up maybe a yard down to the 7.
Yeah, that play was slow to develop for the Explorers, and they've got to be able to punch this in, Sam.
Utley 19 carries for 97 yards. Well, I'd like to see him roll Everland.
Big stain, boys, let's dig deep.
The ball is on the near hash mark, so there's all kinds of room out to the right side, and you could flood that right end zone with a few receivers and let Everland roll, and he has shown the ability to run the football. But we'll see what they do. Receivers left and right. Selby left, Keenan right. Now they put Travis Jones in motion to the left side, and they run the counter to Bryce Smith, and Smith is stacked up as he took it to the 6-yard line. A gain of 1, 3rd and goal at the 6.
Well, they keep trying that play, hoping it'll work, and he initially looks like he's got a hole there, Sam, but they close it quickly, and they're just not biting on that pitch, that fake pitch.
Down to 7:20 and counting remaining in the 4th quarter. Marquette trailing by 14. They must score here and then get something on defense. And the play slow and coming in from the far sideline. And the Explorers can't afford a penalty here, but they better hurry.
They just barely got the playoff last time before the delay of game.
3rd and goal at the 6. Receivers left and right. Smith in motion to the right side. Eberlin takes the snap, rolls to his right.
Got Keenan if he throws it.
And it is incomplete. Keenan was wide open early. There is a flag on the far sideline.
It might be pass interference, but the Explorers got a break there because Zach Keenan was wide open when Eberlin first started rolling out, and he needs to throw that ball right away.
Interference Indians. So that'll be half the distance to the goal line and a first down for the Explorers. That'll move the football to the 3.
He threw to the wrong player, though, Sam.
Well, he did.
And actually, he had a chance to catch it where the interference occurred, but it made it a lot tougher play than the Explorers needed.
So 1st and goal Marquette at the 3 of the Indians. Time becoming more and more critical. 6:47 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Johnston City leads 20-6. Howland wide left. Keenan wide right. Double wing formation. Travis Jones in motion to the left side. He walks in for the touchdown. Utley, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Explorers are on the board again.
That was just excellent blocking by the line of scrimmage on that one, Sam. He had a huge hole, had to step over one player, but he was able to just walk in untouched.
All right, let's see if Marquette can make an extra point here.
I think they should go for 1. He might be talking about whether or not to go for 2, but you got to go for 1 right here.
Got it to 7 right here, and they bring the tee on. So Utley, a 3-yard touchdown run, caps off that drive by the Explorers. So Marquette scored late 3rd quarter. Johnston City answered immediately. Marquette answers that. And Zach Keenan's extra point attempt could cut it to a 7-point deficit. They line it up. The snap, the spot, the kick. It's up, it's high, it's plenty long, and it's good. 6:43 remaining 4th quarter. The score now, Johnston City 20, Marquette 13. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Hi, George Weber. As we watch this year's Olympic Games and root for the world's top athletes, the Weber Chevrolet family wants to offer some encouragement to the terrific men and women representing our country. You are the best of the best. We know how hard you have worked. Win or lose, we are proud of you, and you are all truly winners. Even though you are half a world away, we are with you through every sprint, jump, and dive. And we sing along with you when you stand on that medal stand listening to the national anthem. So from all of us at Weber Chevrolet, go Team USA.
Business owners all around the River Bend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com.
With Joe Barrett, Sam Stem back in Johnston City, 6:43 remaining 4th quarter. It's a 7-point ball game with Johnston City in the lead. Marquette has trailed since the first minute and a half. But I'll say one thing, no matter what happens in the next 6:43, nobody will say the Explorers didn't have hearts.
No, this second half they came out and played like they should have played the whole game. But they've really, the coaches have designed a good offense for them the second half. They've moved the ball up and down the field, and the Explorers look like they really want to win this one now, Sam.
Now they need something on defense. Johnston City has not turned the ball over all day long. Now would be a great time for a turnover. I don't think onside kick is in order here with 6:43 remaining, and I think Marquette still has 2 timeouts remaining. What you need is some defense. Oh, it is the onside kick. Oh, and it took a funny hop, but Johnston City covers it at their own 44-yard line.
He kicked it too hard.
It would have worked if he hadn't kicked it so hard. He kicked it about 15, and he needed to only kick it 10.
Yep. Yeah,
because they were peeling off.
They were already running back when he kicked it, and that's a shame. You know, we both thought they might try it, but
well, I really didn't think they would. But nonetheless, you still need some defense here.
Yep, you got to stop them one way or the other.
6:41 remaining 4th quarter. Johnston City leading by 7. What they'd like to do is just pound it away and burn that clock out. And here's the give to Colton Johnson right up the middle, and he's stacked up after 1, maybe 2 on the carry.
Stephen Utley sticks his nose in there and plugs that hole Sam, and made a really nice tackle of Colton Johnson on that
Colton
play.
Johnson, 19 carries for 176 yards. If nothing else, he might be tired.
Yeah, he might. Well, the last time he ran 85 yards pretty quickly. So.
Clock rolling now with 6:15 remaining. Marquette trailing by 7. The Explorers need the football back. 2nd and 8 Indians from their own 46-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side to give to Colton Johnson, and Colton Johnson pounds his way to midfield. A gain of 4 on that carry, and it's going to be 3rd and 4 for Johnston City.
You know, the Explorers defense the play as well as they can, Sam, and the kid just dives forward, gets an extra 3 yards from after the initial hit. Just good, tough running by Johnson.
Well, somebody from Marquette was trying to rip that football out, too, and had a pretty, I think it was Jesse Bowman, had a pretty good handle on the football, but Colton Johnson just was able to hang on. 3rd and 4 from midfield for the Indians. Double tight, double wing. They put a man in motion to the right side. Long count.
Timeout.
And now timeout Johnston City.
He was trying to get him to jump offside. They tried a hard count to get the Explorers to jump, and they didn't move.
And so the Explorers were alert there. Timeout on the field, 5:22 remaining, 4th quarter. A big 3rd down play upcoming. And the score, Johnston City 20, Marquette 13. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
When you play sports like football, injuries are going to happen. That's why more area schools count on the Human Motion Institute's sports medicine pros to keep their athletes healthy and in the game. Our certified athletic trainers are part of the team, assessing and treating injuries right on the field. And if serious injury occurs, they're backed by an expert team of Alton Memorial Hospital surgeons and therapists. The Human Motion Institute at Alton Memorial Hospital. We're part of the team.
For nearly 120 years, First Cloverleaf Bank has played a vital role in shaping the history of Edwardsville and Glen Carbon, putting our customers, our people, and our community first. It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
Don't forget, following our broadcast, we've got complete play-by-play of Illinois' game with Iowa. That follows this one right here on the Big Z. Big play here, 3rd and 4, Johnston City at midfield. They lead by 7. They want to keep the football. Here is Jones rolling to his right, under pressure, steps out of a tackle, but he's brought down by Utley at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 4th and 4. A couple of injured Explorers slow in getting up. Utley slow in getting up. Patrick Fitzgerald slow in getting up. Jesse Bowman bending over in pain.
I'll tell you, Sam, Pat Fitzgerald and Jesse Bowman both had pressure on the quarterback. If they don't get that pressure, they got a touchdown because they had a guy wide open at the 20-yard line.
And Utley made a great one-on-one tackle at the 50-yard line. Otherwise, Jones might have broken it anyway. And for only the 2nd time tonight, or this afternoon, the Indians go into punt formation. Standing back, awaiting the snap is Jake Hewlett. He stands at his own 36-yard line. Let's see if Marquette comes after him. They've got Travis Jones back deep to return it, and he's looking into the sun.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No.
Last time back there, he let the ball bounce before he caught it.
Hewlett awaiting the snap, gets a good one and gets the kick away. And Jones will let it hit. It's going to take a Johnston City bounce, but luckily for Marquette, it rolls 1 yard deep into the end zone. There's a flag back here, and we might have roughing the kicker. We may have, it is a personal foul, roughing the kicker, and Johnston City will keep the football. Angelo Cross is beside himself. Tim Nelson waves his hand. I didn't think anybody was close to him when he kicked the football.
Yeah, I don't know what. I didn't see it either, Sam. Nobody, when he let go of the ball, there wasn't an Explorer within 3 yards of him. He must have hit him after the kick. I don't know.
It was, well, if he did hit him, it was way late. But
that hurts because that gives them the 1st down and more time to run off the clock.
And moves the football all the way down to the Marquette 35-yard line. 1st and 10 right there for the Indians with 4:49 remaining.
You know, they let a lot of late hits go all game, and then they're going to call that one late in the 4th quarter.
Wow. Well, you hate to see the officials so integral in the outcome of a ball game, but it's been that way this afternoon. They have been prominent. And now here's Colton Johnson, and Patrick Fitzgerald brings him down for a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12, Indians at the Marquette 37.
I'm surprised that they went to that formation, Sam. They had 3 wideouts on the left and just the fullback. They've been successful running just the fullback in their double wing setup all game. And the Explorers were able to throw him for a 2-yard loss. I think that's probably only the 2nd or 3rd time he didn't gain any yardage on a run.
Well, the Indians taking their time here now as time more and more a factor, down to 4:15 and counting remaining in the 4th quarter. Johnston City leading 20-13. Hewlett wide to the left side. Double wing formation. Jones takes the snap, gives it on the counter. Big hole. This is going to be a fumble. A fumble. It's loose. It's still loose. And I think Marquette got it. They did. Marquette covers at the 12-yard line.
Brad Hemming falls on it for Marquette.
I thought that was going to be a touchdown by Aston McIntosh. And at the 15, he was hit. I think Keenan Eberlin hit him, along with maybe Zach Keenan. And Zach Keenan is down and injured. And the Explorers have the football with 3:55 remaining deep in their own territory. And Keenan may have re-injured that ankle, or maybe it's a knee. It's something, a lower extremity. But nonetheless, Marquette has the football. Well, that midway through that play, it looked like that was going to be the death knell for Marquette, as I thought McIntosh was going to go all the way. He cut it back at about the 20. And looked like there was one man to beat, and I think that was Keenan Eberlin. He got a hand on him. Then I think Keenan was the one that came over and stripped him.
Yeah.
Then the ball was loose. It was a mad scramble. Twice the Explorers looked like they were going to fall on it, and it kept squirting away. And who was it? Was it Michael Selby that came away with it?
No, Brad Hemming.
Brad Hemming
recovered it. But, you know, I think 4 or 5 different guys had a shot at that, Sam, on both teams. It looked like it was just all greased up. Nobody could grab it.
So Keenan's up. And he gets a big hug from Michael Selby. And I think maybe Keenan was the guy that stripped the ball carrier.
Well, this is what the Explorers needed. They got the ball back with under 4 minutes to go. They need to have a drive now.
An 88-yard drive is what they need. They've got 3:55 remaining. And they mark the ball ready for play. So the Explorers need to find a way to move down the field. I think Marquette has 2 timeouts remaining. And now with Keenan out, finally, they get Ryan Howland into the ball game. And the Explorers break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. They send Selby wide left. Double wing formation. 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 12. And here's the, it's going to be Eberlin on the quarterback keeper. They ran the option. He crosses the 15 and takes it out to the 17-yard line. And a gain of 5 on that carry for Keenan Eberlin.
Yeah, if he can break that tackle, Sam, he's got some room to run. It was a good play for the Explorers, 5 yards. If they picked 5 yards at a time, they just need to do it quickly.
3.5 minutes remaining. Marquette needs to quicken their pace a bit here. They don't have to go no huddle, but they need to get in and out of the huddle. 2nd and 5 from their own 17 with 3:20 and counting remaining. And here is the give right up the middle. That's Utley, and Utley stacked up after a 3-yard gain out to the 20. And it's going to be 3rd and, well, he only gained 2. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Explorers. But the time is the more important factor right now.
Right.
Down to 3 minutes and counting.
Right. They've got to have their play ready to go as soon as the whistle blows. They need to be heading out of their huddle, going on this next one.
3rd and 3 Marquette from their own 20. Clock rolling with 2:45 remaining. Marquette trailing by 7. And here is Keenan Eberlin rolling to his left. He's going to run, and he gets the first down. He lost the football. That never blew the whistle, but it's going to be a touchdown for the Indians. I'm almost sure he was down.
He's hurt, Sam.
Yeah, he is hurt. Well, the game is over now if that touchdown stands, and I believe it does. So it's going to be a 25-yard return of the fumble for a touchdown. And I didn't even see who. There is a flag down on the play.
That might be just for celebration after the touchdown. I don't think. I don't think it's going to affect the.
Well, I had a pretty good look at it as we're about 20 yards away from where the play ended, and I was certain Eberlin was down before the ball came loose, but the whistle never blew, and everybody just kind of stood there for a minute, and finally one of the Indians said, well, the whistle never blew, and there's the football, and he picked it up and ran 25 yards for the touchdown.
Right. I think,
and Tim Nelson's given one of the officials a piece of his mind. Well,
on the play, though, Sam, Keenan was a little slow making his decision. He had two men open downfield. He could have thrown it, and then he decides to run, and he was slow in making the decision to run, and that allowed the Indians to come up on him and close him off. He would have had a first down had he not fumbled, but it was close whether or not he had lost the ball before.
That's the third Marquette turnover of the afternoon to just one for the Indians.
I believe it's a misconduct penalty after the touchdown, so I don't know if they'll mark it off on the extra point or on the kickoff. Looks like he's going to mark it off on the extra point.
So Eberlin's still down, and he was really sandwiched at the point of the tackle and being attended to. And now the medics from the ambulance is parked down on the far end of the field, mosey on down the field to see if they can be of assistance. And I mean mosey.
Yeah. Well, you're down in southern Illinois.
There's no hurry.
Nothing goes quickly down here.
So Eberlin hasn't moved much since the play ended. And while they attend to him, we'll take a timeout. 2:27 remaining. It's now 26-13. Johnston City leads it. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Toyota has more cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. So no matter how high gas prices get, you can keep moving forward.
Take a look at the latest J.D. Power & Associates insurance certifications for customer satisfaction. Know what each certified agency has in common?
Each is with American Family Insurance.
In fact, American Family Agencies are the first agency certified by J.D. Power & Associates.
According to our policyholders, our agents deliver an outstanding customer experience.
American Family Insurance.
All your protection
under one roof.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062 or stop by 3014 Godfrey Road.
He's not walking very well, is he?
No, he's not.
A little woozy.
Yeah. Well, he took a good hit. I mean, it's a good, clean hit. There was nothing wrong with that. Our question was whether or not the ball came out before his knee was down.
Yeah.
And, it was, the referee was standing right there. The linesman was watching the play the whole way, and he never blew his whistle like you said, Sam. Was just going to let it go.
Well, the video will be on RiverBender.com all weekend long, and we can go back and run it back as many times as we want and see whether it was a good call or not. The shame of this game, and I don't think the officiating is going to have anything to do with the final outcome, but the shame of it is that the officiating, in my opinion, has been poor. They didn't take control of this game early. It's been chippy throughout. And you can't really blame the teams because they're just hitting up and, doing as much as they can get away with. And the officials are letting both sides get away with it. And at some point in time, the officials should have just stopped everything. And now Tim Nelson has the referee out there, and he's talking to him again. So Mornaway will attempt to add point number 27 and make the Indians lead 14 once again. They line it up, the snap, the spot, the kick. It's up, it's high, it's long.
It's not long.
Oh, it isn't long. No, it came down short. It was high, but it came down short, so the extra point attempt fails. So that makes it 26-13 in favor of the Indians. And the Explorers face an uphill climb now, trailing by 13 points with 2:27 remaining. And the only thing you can hope for here is perhaps a return of the kickoff for a touchdown. We'll see if they enforce that penalty on the kickoff.
They should. That should be. I would think it's should be a 15-yard penalty. But the thing about it is that he's kicking into the sun, where the Explorers are looking back at the sun, and Travis Jones has had no interest in catching the ball in the air, looking back at the sun. So
yeah, Morningway is going to have to kick off from his own 25-yard line.
Well, we should be able to get decent field position out of this if we don't get a penalty or we get a decent return. We should be able to get to it maybe at the midfield mark or inside the Indians' territory with good return.
It's been an entertaining game, but lots of penalties. And I'm not sure all the penalties were the fault of the players.
No, it's a shame that you talk about the officiating so much, but they really took over control of the game. In the first quarter, we're calling a bunch of offsides and what looked like penalties that had no impact on the plays, and then let a lot of things go afterwards.
There were at least 6 or 7 penalties for lining up offside against both teams, and quite frankly, it was not that obvious from up here. So I thought they were being just a little picky-unish there. So Morningway kicks it off, and it's going to go over the head of Travis Jones, and he has to go back to the 10 to pick it up. That was a heck of a kick by Morningway. Travis Jones still on his feet out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. And the Explorer offense onto the field, 1st and 10 right there. And the quarterback for Marquette is going to be
Dalton Holm, probably.
Dalton Holm.
He's a freshman. Yeah. He's their backup quarterback, and this will be interesting to see how Dalton handles this. He's a big kid. He's a pretty smart kid from what I hear.
What game was it? One of the home games
he got in at the end against Roxana.
Yeah. And thought he played pretty well there, but that wasn't a playoff game.
And he was the freshman quarterback and the JV quarterback all year. So he knows what to do. And they say that he may be the starting quarterback next year.
Holm rolls to his left, sets, and lets it go downfield off the hands of Bryce Smith. It was thrown behind him, but thank goodness it was, because if he had thrown it right to Smith, it would have been intercepted.
Yeah. Dalton's in a tough situation here. The Explorers got to score quickly, and the Indians know it. He may be set up for a big hit as he goes back to pass, and they put pressure on him. That's one thing you got to be worried about. The Explorers maybe run a screen or maybe a delayed draw or something to counter the big rush that's going to be coming.
2nd and 10 Explorers from their own 25. They trail by 13. Holm rolls to his right, sets up, lets it go downfield, and incomplete. I'll tell you what, he can throw the football, can't he?
Yes, he can. He's got a good arm. His problem on that one, he was a little bit under pressure right when he went to let go of it. But he didn't have anybody open either.
There really wasn't anybody open. Cecil Brimage has not played since the first half. He's injured. They surmise something having to do with his left hand, as that left hand is wrapped. But his pads and helmet have been off the entire second half. Mitch Woolner was ejected early first half, early in the second quarter. Now on 3rd and 10, Holm rolls to his left under pressure. Lets it go downfield. Bryce Smith is there. He's got it at the 40, at the 35, still on his feet. He might be wise to go down. Now the whistles blow, and they're going to give him forward progress only to the 39, even though he was actually to the 35.
Right.
And then an altercation down here behind the play and a flag thrown.
We'll see what happens on that. I wasn't watching that, so
that was a big completion by a Holm for 36 yards to Bryce Smith.
Personal foul against Marquette. Now 52 on the Indians. Nick Alcorn, he was the one that he was mixed up with Mitch Woolner in the first half, so he may be a little bit of an instigator.
Yeah.
And he gets away with getting maybe the first shot in, and then they get caught on the second shot. So
they're going to let the play stand and then walk off 15?
Yeah. So that's the way it should be if it's a dead ball foul.
That's right. So Holm, a 36-yard completion to Smith.
And we didn't mention that Bryce Smith made a fantastic catch on the play, saying the ball was a little underthrown. He took it off the helmet of the defender, and if he'd have had his balance, he could have split the defenders and gone for the touchdown. But as it was, he still made a nice play.
he didn't go down, and there were two guys just beating on him, and finally they
just blew the whistle.
First and 10 Explorers from their own 46-yard line. Holm back to throw, under pressure, rolls to his right, lets it go downfield, and that is intercepted by the Indians. And here comes the return to the 30, and finally brought down there. Oh, and now we've got flags flying everywhere. Thomas Hendrick took a shot at the guy that he tackled, and then there were a couple more flags behind the play. And this, I'll tell you what, that's not called for by the Explorers, but the officials are to blame for all of this.
Well, I think one of the flags is going to be against Johnston City because one of the Explorers was hit after the play. And as you can see, Alcorn's coming off the field again, shaking everybody's hand. So he's got to be an instigator on part of this stuff here, Sam.
Offsetting. But I'm surprised Thomas Hendrick hasn't been ejected. I mean, what he did was uncalled for. Now Marquette wants a timeout. He comes with 1:33 remaining. Johnston City will have the football at the 30. And at this point, the officials need to bring the captains from both teams out there and probably the head coaches and say, look, we got a minute and a half remaining. We're not going to tolerate anything. And then they ought to be quick with the whistles.
Right. Well, you know, if you're Johnston City, you got a game next week. Now, if you get ejected in this game, you don't play next week. Right. So if you're the head coach, you've got to tell your players, look, guys, this game's over. Let's get out of here and get ready for the next week's game. As far as the Explorers are concerned, though, Sam, you know, they've been taking a lot of hits all game long, late and otherwise, and it just builds up. Thomas Hendrick's a senior. He's a hard-working player, and, you know, you just get tired of it after a while. And, he's delivered a few hits himself, but, you know, after, 48 minutes, he plays both ways in the line, you know. That's a lot of hard work for those kids.
And now I'm wondering if Keenan Eberlin's not going to leave. They backed the ambulance up over near the Marquette bench. And Eberlin was injured earlier. And we'll keep our eye out and see if he leaves via the ambulance. It has no impact on the game. This game is in essence over. And we just hope that there aren't any further extracurricular activities because it has been very, very, very chippy both ways. And they give it to the fullback, and they're still hitting hard out there.
Yes, they are.
You can't blame them. And no gain on the carry.
A lot of these kids, this last time they'll put on a football jersey as a member of a football team. You know, the idea of being in the playoffs, you want to experience it, and you've got some kids that haven't played yet today. You know, this game's pretty much over. They may not have a chance to play next week or the week after. Let some other kids experience the playoffs.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Now they do bring the stretcher out of that ambulance, and I got it is Keenan Eberlin who's sitting over on the bench, and
paramedics are still there with him.
I think maybe his folks decided that he needed to go and be checked out at the hospital, and I think that's a good idea. 2nd and 10 Indians. Josh Jones, the quarterback, takes it on the quarterback sneak. And I wouldn't do that either. Why subject him to taking a hit that could...
take a knee.
Yeah. And Marquette is out of timeouts. So with 1:10 and counting remaining, just a couple more snaps for Johnston City. So a 3-yard pickup there for Jones on the quarterback sneak. Johnston City's going to win this one 26-13. They will improve to 8-2. Marquette's season will end at 6-4, but Marquette came out here and fought in the second half after being outplayed in the first half. And it's going to be Jones again, and he bounces it outside to the left side, and he is tracked down here on the near sideline and thrown out of bounds. And
well, that's not a good call. He was not
a good call at all.
Jesse Bowman came over and hit him out of bounds.
Well, actually, Gary Clark had him by the face mask too, and the official missed that.
I thought he had.
Why are you even running that play?
Right.
You're Brian Berry.
But he wasn't out of bounds when he threw him down. But maybe Jesse Bowman came over and hit him late afterwards. But No, he was still in play when Gary Clark let go of him out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, Clark clearly had his face mask, but the official didn't see that, but that wasn't the call. You're right, it was the hit out of bounds after the play. But at this point in time, Johnston City needs to take a knee. I mean, there's no sense in, there's no value whatsoever in tacking on to your margin here. And why risk getting anybody hurt before next week or getting into an altercation? And their quarterback's hurt. Look at his right, he's shaking his right arm.
Mm-hmm.
He got hurt on that play. So it's a first down after the penalty. Down at the Marquette 26-yard line with 30 seconds remaining.
Take a knee.
Marquette has no timeouts remaining, and all they have to do is take one knee and it'll be over. They do take a knee. And the official waits until we get inside 25 to mark the ball ready for play. And the two teams stand at the line of scrimmage and glare at each other. And the final 15 seconds are going to tick off the clock, and neither team will leave the line of scrimmage. They both stand there and just glare across the line at each other. This was a hard-fought football game, and probably some hard feelings on both sides of the field. And probably not the best job of officiating I've ever seen. But nonetheless, the game is over. Johnston City defeats Marquette by a score of 26-13. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Alton Toyota. Toyota makes the car. Munganast makes the difference. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Lisa Funk, the Riverbend's top producing broker year after year. And by Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for 46 years.